So I want to start off this video by telling you why I'm making it. This video isn't some kind of sad sob story or anything like that. Really, it's because I want to inspire people. Unfortunately, you encounter life lessons that you have to learn the hard way, and I'm just hoping that some other people can learn from my experiences. So I'm hoping by the end of this video, you might have a different perspective on things, or just might have something else to consider that might help you out in the future. So first off, I need to give you a little bit of a background on myself. So something that I've never actually mentioned on this channel is that I actually have a degree in video production. I started taking classes in high school for video production, and then I would later on to go to a college in order to continue studying. And continuing on from college into my career, even to now, I'm still doing video production. It's been my career ever since, and it's how I've paid my bills and supported myself since then. Which might sound kind of weird since the video is titled something, why I failed at video production. And I want to make it clear, I do really enjoy doing video production. That's why I went to school for it. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it would make a great career. And I mean, so far it has. I mean, even now I'm using the skills that I've learned in order to make the videos and try to make them as good as I possibly can. But really, there's a couple variables that have really made me reconsider videography as a profession. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail, especially considering that for the purpose of this video, I don't think they're really that important, but there's really one variable that outweighed all the others that really made me reconsider doing videography. Really, the biggest thing for me was a question that I found that I didn't really have an answer to and that no one had ever asked me in my life before. And that question was, how do you want to live your life? And I know the question's kind of innocuous. It really doesn't sound like some kind of crazy question that's coming out of left field, but I think it's one that I was never really asked, and so I never really considered it. And what makes it even harder is the answer kind of changes over time. You don't wake up one day and you think, this is what I want my life to be, and then it just is that. As you gain different experiences, you have different perspectives, you try different things, some things you like, some things you don't, and it just kind of changes the answer. And I think that's more or less what happened to me. I thought I had an understanding of the industry, how it worked, and how my life would look once I started, working full time. But over the years, as I've gained different experiences and had new jobs, it's kind of changed things for me. There was a lot of things that I thought were really fun and cool about video production. And I thought, as I kind of started doing it, I would get used to it and I would enjoy it. But honestly, I just don't like it that much anymore. I could get into more specifics, but really just to kind of boil it down into simpler terms, it's just that it requires a lot of effort in a very short amount of time. Predominantly, you work as a freelancer, which means that you're working on projects. That could mean that you have 2 projects a week, 3 projects a week, or maybe none. And when you do finally have a project, you're working a lot of hours. I would say the baseline is 10 hours, which is fine because it can be really enjoyable to be on set with a bunch of people for 14 hours and, you're doing good work, you're collaborating with people, you're building relationships, and that's all great. But something that I've come to learn about myself is that's just not really how I like to work. I prefer things that are a little bit more consistent and in short bursts, which is why I've started to focus more on graphic design because I have a little bit more control over my schedule and it's more predictable. Not to mention there are more job options that kind of fit that 9 to 5 kind of work life. But in video production, it's kind of hard to find. And I tried to make it work the best I could. I tried to find positions that I think I would fit, but that would also give me the lifestyle that I wanted. But honestly, just nothing really quite works. And even though video production is something that I love and that I'm passionate about, it just really isn't for me. And that's hard to admit whenever you've spent 10 years and who knows how much money trying to perfect this craft and get into the industry and make it your career. But really at the crux of it all, I just couldn't make it work. The career that I chose didn't fit the vision for my life. What I wanted was steady and predictable, and that's kind of the opposite of what video production is. Now, if I had known what I wanted my life to look like before, I probably would have chose differently. And so the 2 reasons that I failed at video production is because I didn't have enough experience in the industry to really know what it was like, and I didn't have a strong enough vision for what I wanted my life to look like. But now that I have had that experience and I do have that vision, I know that video production isn't for me. And so what I'm hoping this video will do is get you to ask that question. What do I want my life to look like? It's a hard question to ask, and you might not even have the answer to it now or even a couple years from now. But I think it's a question that you need to have in the back of your head. The answer that you get might be hard, or even one that you don't want to hear. Like in my case, I still love video production. It's something that I really enjoy doing. But if it's not going to make you happy, and it's not going to give you the life that you want, you're just going to be miserable in the end. Because at the end of the day, if you're not happy with what you're doing, or you're not happy with the life that you're living, you're going to be miserable. And if you're miserable, you're not going to be doing your best work, and you're not going to be doing work that's helping anybody. all the knowledge, skills, and talents that you have could be used somewhere else that would be making you happy and that would be helping somebody. You'd be holding yourself back from being the best version and the happiest version of yourself. And you owe it to yourself to be honest with yourself so that you can be the best and happiest version of yourself. And truly, I hope this video has helped you and that it inspires you to think about those things and hopefully come to a conclusion that makes your life better. And if this video was helpful, I'd appreciate it if you would check out the rest of my channel and then consider subscribing. I hope to see you in the next video.